Hey guys, Boris from BK Forex. Welcome to our Forex Technicals for 12/10/13. As always, trading foreign exchange on margin carries a high level risk and be suitable for all investors. I ask you to read this disclaimer very carefully to understand all the risks associated with trading on margin. The secret advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. Well, big day today for the yen crosses in many ways. If you look at euro yen today, we took out the 41s with, where's my euro yen? Here's the euro yen. We took out 41 with as they say, extreme prejudice, and then we've really been trading very, very well on our way towards the 42s, pretty much taking out the fresh yearly highs. If you really have to go back now on the weekly charts, and you see that there's very little on the weekly charts here in terms of resistance, because we haven't been at this level in years, and really we don't come up to 140 on, all the way until through the 209s, where we basically had this gap of around 40, basically 41 to 43. So in a way, what we're doing here is we're kind of trying to fill this gap, which very well may be the story here as we continue to move. In either case, 42 definitely in view, 42.50, 43 possibly the next exhaustion zone for euro yen. Similar story, by the way, with pound yen. Pound yen looks very, very strong through the 170. It's very, very close to the 170 and powering up. Not quite as robust as euro yen, but still very much powering up to this 170 level. Have not seen those levels since essentially the crash of 2008. So if there was ever a sign that the 2008 credit crunch may be over, it's very much evident in the yen crosses, which are finally reaching those levels they haven't seen in 4 years or 5 years at this point, I guess. Euro itself looks very strong, bid up throughout the day, took out the 38s. 38.50 is the next level of resistance. As I was saying over the weekend notes, the critical thing for the euro, of course, is this 38 level. It looks like we might be able to tackle the 37.50s, maybe even all the way through to the 37.70s. But as we approach the 38, I think you're going to see a lot more offers, simply because that's the yearly highs. It's going to be clearly a lot of stops at that level. So the temptation to defend that is going to be pretty strong. There's probably a lot of optionality at that level as well. So very much worth watching. But I think the pace of acceleration may slow down a little bit as we come into the yearly highs before it takes off anything. Dollar yen is really at an interesting juncture here, because this point over here, this is the 103.30s, which is where we failed before. The 103.60s is the key high for the year. And it's very interesting to see if today may be the day where we could try to make a run through the 103.50s, try to tackle this 103.60 yearly highs. If we can barrel through, there's certainly going to be a tremendous amount of stop running around that level. If we can barrel through that, 104 really comes into play, and then of course pulls all the yen crosses that we've been talking about right up through on the same target. So it could be a very, very strong night tonight, especially as we're coming up to some very key levels. Not a lot of fundamental news, but now it's really becoming technically momentum-driven trading for the end of the year. Cable itself also inching its way towards the 64.40 highs. A break here really opens up the run towards the 65s, which is another key level. So basically you have euro sort of slowing into perhaps the 38s, and pound dollar perhaps maybe accelerating through the 64.50s into the 65s as we take out the yearly highs. We'll have to see how the trade develops, but both of them very much at a critical juncture right now. Last but not least, of course, bringing up the rear is Aussie, which is just not performing nearly as well, of course, as all the other majors. It is, however, made a relatively serious bottom here at the 90, and it could just simply be churning around before it tries to build up enough momentum to try to retake the 91.50, which is where it's kind of stalled out earlier today. We couldn't take out 91.30. Basically, every rally is a sell in the Aussie. But the interesting thing to watch in the Aussie is how far down can they push the sells, because if they can't push the sells very much further down, then all the selling pressure is going to ease up, and then you have a potential here for a further rise. One big event risk for Aussie this week is the employment numbers coming out on Wednesday. If those are bad, that's going to be a real true test of the 90, and we'll see if any bargain hunters come in, try to pick it up, or whether they're going to just push this all the way through and break the bones of it at 90, try to take it down to 89. Similarly, when you're looking at the Aussie, of course, you really want to be looking at the Euro Aussie as well, which is, where's my Euro Aussie? Oh, here it is. Sorry. Here's my Euro Aussie. So the Euro Aussie story here is kind of interesting because we haven't made any forward progress beyond this 51.71 3 days in a row, but we're starting to really push back up. And a key level here is if we can barrel through towards the 51.80s, 59s. 52 is going to be a given, and 52 will be a fresh new yearly high. And beyond that, we could have 52.50s, just the momentum alone. So we're very much worth watching. This basically assumes we have a continuing weakness in the Aussie, and the euro maybe pushes its way towards the 38s before it kind of exhausts itself. In either case, I think the central view today is going to be the yen crosses, and that's where a lot of the action is going to be. So watch those for the time being. Pound yen to the 170, euro yen through the 142s. Both of them definitely worth watching. Wishing you guys the best of luck, the best of trading, support, Schlossberg over and out.